I do something called the 5-star shout out. I love to say this line. I'm not gonna say it because I don't believe in it. I don't believe in. You can't make a. You know what I'm talking about.
All right. Happy Saturday to everybody. Wake up this morning. You're with the side, Jawn. What's up, chocolate girl?
What's up? What's up? What's up? Hi, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Grooving with the side, Jawn, this Saturday morning. 2 days, 2 weekends post your North Carolina visit. I'm going to keep counting the weeks after you gone now, since you gone. 2 weeks after you gone. Okay. I'm glad to be here on this Saturday morning, my favorite day of the week.
Yeah,
what's going on, Dennis?
It's not only been a good day, but it has been a very hot 2 weeks since I done last seen you. Ooh, yes. It's been hot.
Sir.
It was so hot. It was so hot when I got in the house to sit next to the air conditioner. The devil was there. Hey, what you doing in here? He was like, you been out there?
Wait a minute. It was so hot. I was sweating like a hoe in church.
Like a hoe. That's how hot it was, bro. It's terrible. But you know what? Besides the heat, we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this heat wave and how it's affecting people. But besides the heat, how have you been?
Besides the heat, everything is doing well with my soul, as our show is named. It is well with my soul. Everything is good. Everything has been good. Even if I don't feel good, I take something or do something, move around, and I feel better. Say a little praise, talk to God a little bit, and I'm okay, and I keep moving. So that's how it's been going. Really busy at work, which is great for job security, so I don't complain for the mandatory overtime. And I haven't seen my grandson that much. And, you know, when I go a few days without seeing him, I get a little sad. I haven't seen him. I've seen him, but not seen him like I've been seeing him. So can't wait to see him again. But everything's been good. I've been working on some things creatively and trying to up my education, trying to learn how to do more things, strengthen my toolkit a little bit so I can service my clients better. So that's been going well.
That's good. That's good. Always good to get your business out there. But the thing about business is the harder you push it, the more business you're gonna get. That's just what it is. Yeah. So if you're gonna lollygag with it, then it's gonna lollygag with you. That's one thing I have to say that I learned. When I was pushing merch, it was going right out. You show up to places with merch, you leave out of there with an empty bag. I was realizing that every time. I would show up to places, I had merch. Next thing you know, in 20 minutes, all of it's gone. I was like, dang. I need more merch. I get more merch. But then I just started getting so upset with the way things was going, and it was like, you get your merchandise from there, you got to wait on it, and by the time you wait, you finally get the merchandise, but you done missed 3 pop-up shops that you could have been at and made enough money. It's a lot to it. It ain't as easy as everybody making it seem. There's a lot to it,
Mm-hmm.
and once you get the science to it and start doing things the right way, everything will be smooth.
Mm-hmm. Well, you get back to doing your merch. I still need a side Jawn t-shirt.
Yeah, I need one too. All
Yeah,
I
I
got
need
is
a
hoodies.
side t-shirt. Cause see, that hoodie is so hot. I can't even pretend to wear it. Not even on the inside. I can't wear that thing. I've been fell out doing the side Jawn. Phew. I fell out off my chair.
I like it. When I get people hoodies, I want you to be in the wintertime wearing your hoodie
Right,
outside, and everybody else
right.
like, man, it's cold out here. I ain't cold. I'm chilling. This hoodie
I ain't
good.
cold
That's how I
because
want you to be.
my side Jawn hoodie is warm. That thing. I went outside and scraped my car off in that thing. Didn't feel nothing.
Mm.
Nothing. Not a thing. So thank you because it's a good quality sweatshirt, hoodie, but I need a tee,
Yeah,
preferably
I need
V-neck.
one too. I don't know how to get all
Yes,
that.
there you go. What I ain't gonna
But
do. There
we
you
talk about
go.
heat wave. We are talking. I don't know if I can do all that,
You see,
but you can send
try
me a
it.
V-neck, and then I go get it done.
No, Lord, here we go. All right.
I think my internet lagging. I'm good
Yeah,
now.
you back. You back now. Uh-huh. You back.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, cool, cool. What I was trying to say is we talking about heat waves, and I seen Vegas hit an all-time high of 121 degrees.
Whoa.
I seen that. Yeah, 121 degrees.
Has anybody checked on Ian? Make sure he's all right. Shit.
I talk to him every night. Yeah,
Good.
and heat wave 121 degrees. Uh, for the next, I think for the next 4 days, it's supposed to be 118, 119, 119, 118, 120.
Well, they say it's a dry heat, like that makes a difference, but that still sounds hella
I don't
hot to
know.
me.
It's just too hot. I remember one time it was so hot in Florida. I went to go put the seatbelt on. Right, they got the little metal piece on the seatbelt. Click. I touched that walker, almost burnt my hand. Oh, wait a minute! Like,
Yeah, yeah. I've actually had that happen before. It actually burned me. I don't remember where I was, but it hurt.
yeah,
I had to sit holding it, by the material for a while until I could touch it.
catch it,
I was like,
catch
well,
it
I
from
can't.
here.
They can stop me if they want to, but I can't touch it. It's hot. Shoot.
It's crazy. But with these heat waves though, it's really been messing things up, man. I remember back when I was younger. I played football when I was younger. So me playing football when I was younger, we used to practice in 90-degree heat, and your coach wouldn't let you get a water break until you felt as though you was finished. But after what happened to Corey Stringer in August 1st of 2001, water breaks was mandatory all the time after that. As a matter of fact, they came around. They was doing new studies because Corey Stringer ended up passing away from a heat stroke at the Minnesota Vikings practice facility during the training camp. If y'all don't know who Corey Stringer is, he's an offensive tackle for the Minnesota Vikings. Died at 27 years old at the Minnesota Vikings training camp facility of a heat stroke. It wasn't a heart attack. It wasn't no diabetes. It was a heat stroke. And there was a couple other players that went out due to a heat stroke. I remember that they went out. They didn't die. They just went out. and passed out for a little while. I think Corey Simon was one of them as well. And I remember the first time I went to an Eagles training camp, and I, you know how they got like kiddie pools. These
Uh-huh.
guys had kiddie pools set up with a bunch of ice in them,
Yeah.
and couldn't wait to after practice to get in the kiddie pool with a bunch of ice. I was like, oh, they're
Right.
so excited to get in that. It's like four. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't wait to get in here. Oh, scoot over, scoot over. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but there's like four offensive linemen getting in the kiddie pool with ice in it.
I can understand that.
I was
I can.
laughing at him so hard. It was funny. Now that I'm older, I understand it 100%. But back then, I was laughing. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it would have been funny to see these big, burly football players trying to get in the kiddie pool. That would have cracked me up. Period. Hmm.
Right. Meanwhile, what else you got on the Heat?
Well, heat stroke is a very dangerous thing. A lot of people say that heat stroke is not that big a deal. If you just drink water, you'll be all right. And it's a lot that's not really understood about it. But so I thought it would be interesting for us to talk about heat stroke versus stroke. Stroke is different. Stroke involves the brain and it's different. And heat stroke is more about your body temperature. Of course, it can affect your brain, but that's not where the trouble starts. It starts with your body temperature getting really, really hot. Excuse me. So, heat stroke is when your body overheats and your core body temperature rises to more than 104 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you know that the average temperature, your body temperature is supposed to be around 98.6, around there. So, if it's at 104, that's a lot. It's like getting a fever. You don't want to get a fever.
Yeah,
As soon as you get 100, that's a fever. It's really a
right.
fever.
Anything?
Don't mess with it. What you were gonna say?
No, I was gonna say anything hitting 100 is a fever.
Yeah. So that's what the heat stroke is. But a stroke, a regular stroke, is when a blood vessel to the brain bursts or is blocked by a clot, and brain cells die from the lack of blood and oxygen. That's what happens in a stroke. So they're two totally
Mm,
different things. But they have some very interesting risk factors too. Do you see the graphic?
yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go over um the risk factors of heat stroke. Some people might be a higher risk for heat stroke due to their age, certain medications they take, overexerting themselves in hot weather, lack of air conditioning, medical conditions that they already have, spending time outside in excessive heat, their sudden exposure to the hot weather, and their weight. The heavier you are, the more incidents of heat stroke you're more than likely to experience in times of extreme heat. Also, there's various medications out there that you take, and it will say you should not be out in direct sunlight, or you should not be out in um, in the heat. It'll tell you right there on the paperwork that comes with that medicine. Um, People who work outside a lot, construction people, um, police officers, painters, plumbers, people like that, they're outside all the time, and they don't get to stay in at just because it's hot outside, right? They can't do that. So they have to be outside. Well, some of them don't pay enough attention especially y'all hard-headed men who don't want to listen. But some of them don't pay enough attention and don't stay hydrated, and then they can exhibit some heat stroke. And I'm gonna tell you, Dennis, earlier this week, I told you my air conditioner decided to go out, right? So they gave me a window unit. So I'm keeping this window unit, but I keep it in my room. It's actually in my bedroom because I wanted to be able to sleep in comfort because it's been over 90 degrees in here, or out here, I should say. But my office is on the opposite end of the house. And Tuesday, I'm in that office. I got the ceiling fan on, but it's hot as the blazes in there. And I tell you, by the end of my shift, I thought I was gonna pass out. I said, you know what? I think I'm overheating. I think I need to come out of this room. And so now I'm working in my room. I was like, forget it. I'm gonna do everything in this room with this air condition until they get that unit because they have to replace the whole unit. The whole unit just died. And they have like six of them out here that did that. So I'm like number five. So I gotta wait till I get it. But at least I have some air. I'm not, totally out of it. It feels great in this room. But you leave my room and walk in the living room? Mm-mm. No, no.
Well, let me show you. Let me show the exhibit that you. I meant the chart that you had sent me. Show the people.
Okay.
Show the people the heat stroke chart so they can see that. Everybody can
Yep.
see the difference.
So
And what's up? What's up to everybody out there? Thank y'all for commenting. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love y'all, but we just trying to show y'all the heat stroke chart. Yeah.
yeah, and so you gotta be
I didn't know
careful.
there's certain medicines that you take. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because some of the medicines that I take or took when I was on them, I couldn't be outside, and people would invite me to stuff. I'm like, I can't go. I literally cannot be out in the heat, and that's just the way it is. you know.
Back in the day, the best place to be at when you wanted to go outside and walk and everything. Best place to be at back in the day used to be the mall. It was always cool in the mall.
Always cool in the
It was just
mall,
always cool in
except
the mall.
let me tell you. Remember when you and I went to the mall? We started to go in. Was it Macy's? I think it was Macy's. And remember, the
Oh,
air conditioning must have been out.
we went in the mall. I thought we went right to the movie theater.
No, that was me and my sister. That's who it was.
Yeah.
Me and my sister. No, me and my friend. Oh God, what is her name? Tanya. We were at the
Well,
mall.
it's a
We were
good.
about to
It's a good
go.
thing. It's
We,
a good thing
we
you
were
ain't
about
no
to.
cheater because you would have been caught. You know
Oh
that
no,
all these
no.
people you supposed to be at the mall with.
Look,
Good thing you ain't no cheater. You would
no,
have been caught.
never me, never me. But we were supposed to go into Macy's. We walked in. We walked about 3 steps in, and we could feel the heat. We were like, "What the hell is going on in here?" And she was like, "That air must be out." I said, "Oh, let's go." We both turned around like, nothing in there is worth seeing being hot like that.
You ain't shopping and sweat. That ain't what you doing.
No,
Uh,
no.
Supposed to
Yeah,
be
that's what it
shopping. It's supposed
was.
to be a
That's what
relaxed
it with
feeling.
her.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, it was yeah, real interesting, real interesting. But go over, Dennis. You could talk about the signs of a heat stroke. It's on the
Okay.
chart.
Oh, you gotta hold up. I gotta go back to this one. I had no
Hmm.
idea. Signs of heat stroke. I'm sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Signs. Here we go. Okay. Okay. It's a face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call 911. Other signs of stroke
That's
suddenly.
that's the stroke. That's not heat stroke. Heat stroke is the other
Oh,
side.
I'm on my phone. I'm sorry.
You're on the left
Body
side.
temperature of 104 or higher is the main sign of was the main sign. Other signs include confusion, headache, hot, dry skin, fast pulse and racing heart, flush, flushed or red skin, loss of consciousness, nausea, rapid, shallow breathing, and vomit. All right, hold on. Nausea and vomiting. What's the difference?
Nausea is when your stomach feels queasy, like you want to throw up, but you don't throw up. Vomiting is vomiting, actually throwing up. Like I could be nauseated and never throw up, and it's a sick feeling. I used to suffer from really bad nausea. I still do occasionally, but it used to be like an everyday thing. Fatigue and nausea. Oh, God, it used to drive me crazy. But yeah, have you had those signs before?
Uh, I do a lot of walking now, so the fast pulse, heart racing. Um, I ain't lose my consciousness. Wasn't nauseated, and I didn't want to vomit. I had some hot, dry skin, but I ain't put no lotion on, so that might be part of it too.
But did it leave you confused a little bit? Like you wasn't quite with it? That happened to me Tuesday.
No, I only get confused when I start. You ever had those moments you start thinking about something? Well, matter of fact, I had these moments a lot. This ain't really that got to do with the heat. I had these in the cold too. I started thinking about something like, yeah, that's a good idea. And if I do not write it down, it'll take me all day to remember what I was thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Well,
That's what I noticed.
well, I'm far as heat stroke is concerned. Tuesday, it was to the point where I was messing up on the phone with my clients, and I was like, oh, I mean, this isn't. I kept noticing myself messing up, and I'm like, nah, this isn't good. I felt like I felt like somebody was spraying me with a hot gun. I can't even imagine. I can't explain it any other way. Like I felt heat just hitting me, like it was hitting me, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like a wave of heat. And I was like, "Nah, let me get up out of this room. It's not enough. I can't sit back here." Because I thought since I'm not opening the doors or windows much, and I don't have a whole lot of light coming in, that it would keep the heat out enough.
No,
And I have the
no.
ceiling fan circulating. I mean, it lasted pretty good in the morning, but by the afternoon, when it gets hotter in the heat of the day, it just wasn't working. So yeah, I had to get up out of that room. That's not gonna work. But anyway, so they say if you notice somebody exhibiting these signs, you need to call 911. But while you're waiting for the ambulance to get there, you need to move the person into shade. Get them out of the sun if you can. Remove excess clothing. Take some of their clothes off and try to cool them with water, fans, ice packs, or cold, wet towels. I've actually seen that done to somebody before where they ended up taking off their pants, shoes, and socks, and they ran to the bathroom and got put water on cold water on stuff and brought it and put it around this guy. I mean,
I ain't
he
never
just
see that.
passed out.
I seen somebody pass out. I seen them, get some ice water. We used to keep when I worked at Walmart. We used to keep a big cooler full of water, big
Uh-huh.
cooler full of ice water. It was for everybody, customers, workers. It was for everybody. And somebody, ended up passing out because of the heat stroke. They gave him some water, pour some water on him. Try to like bring him back. Call 911. Ambulance came.
Did he
It was
make it?
good. Yeah, they made it. They made it. They was back shopping next week.
Good. That's good. But it can be a scary thing when you see anybody pass out because your help is just like, do I do something or is there somebody else that can do something, or do I do something? You just got to be prepared because you never know. You might be the only other person around the person. You got to take action and do something.
A lot of people ain't good under pressure.
Yeah, I know.
A
But
lot of people ain't good under
even
pressure.
going to get somebody else is doing something, is what I'm saying. Even if I'm too scared to do it myself, I'm gonna say, hey, can somebody help this guy? I can't do it, or something. You know what I mean? Instead of just standing there like and just watching them die, That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's a lot to it though. But hopefully, people got it good in their hearts to try to go out and help somebody. And what about the people that's on drugs? How could you tell somebody's having a heat stroke or somebody's on drugs if you live in a drug infested neighborhood? You'll walk right by 'em.
I know. I don't know. I guess it depends on what's going on at the time for me. It depends on what's going on. It depends on who, if I'm with anybody, do I have my little grandson in my hand? You know what I mean? Like if it's just me and him, I probably wouldn't do anything but try to scream and get help, call 911 while I'm standing there. But if it was just me walking by myself and I was in an area that I didn't feel uncomfortable, I might do something. But doing mouth to mouth, mm, I don't
I mean,
know.
well, one drug infested area I grew up in, as soon as it hit over 80 degrees, they cut the water plug on. All right, now they ain't care about the police coming down, shutting it off. They ain't care about none of that. Every day over 80, the water plug was on. Every day over
What's the
80.
water plug?
The fire hydrant.
Oh,
The fire
okay.
hydrant was on.
Yeah. And see,
Sorry about that, everybody.
why
I'm
do
from the
I
hood.
see that? Why do I see that only in big cities? Like, I have never seen anybody turn on fire hydrant here ever, ever. But you see
What
it all
about
the
we use in
time.
Ohio?
Philly, Newark, New York, Chicago.
What about we
No,
use in Ohio?
no, if the fire hydrant was on, it's because they were running a fire. They were running a check, and you could see the little tube thing, and the water was just gushing out, and the fire department had this little tube thing hooked up to it. That's the only time I ever saw that. But
I don't think I
just
ever seen the
right
fire
outside.
department run a check. Now that you said that, I don't think I ever seen the fire department run a check.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I only seen them shut. I seen the fire department shut it down. Seen the fire department come shut it down a couple times. Now
Mm.
that drug infested neighborhood I'll tell you I was in, they ain't shut it down there. They shut it down. I was in Germantown. They came and they shut it down.
Well, yeah, I've seen them run a check.
I never knew that the fire hydrants is not on everywhere. Maybe it's just the East Coast thing. I don't know. Now you got me thinking. I'm gonna have to ask my West Coast guys if they had a fire hydrant on in the summertime. That's crazy. I'm gonna say this. The next thing you know, is gonna be all these videos of people having fire hydrants on in my algorithm. This is gonna be part of my algorithm next. Like last night, we were sitting there. We was talking about, how we was talking about music. We was talking about the West Coast and how they got their own sound, and you could tell it's a down south sound, and you could tell it's a New York sound. And I was telling them, I was like, we didn't have the best beats, coming up on the East Coast all the time until around like '96. But before that, we didn't have all the best beats. The beats came from either down south or they came from the West Coast. That was all the best beats.
I think that's true. I think that's true. Yeah,
Mhm.
96, 97 maybe. But before that, West Coast was killing us. Not so much down south to me, but the West Coast was killing it before
Yeah.
that, as far as the beats were concerned. Dre and Yellow and them, they were killing them beats.
Like, well,
Mm-hmm.
They was killing. I can't explain. They was killing.
Well, here's something else. Keep it in line with our health journey today. Yesterday was
When
National Chronic Disease Day, and it's, even though it sounds like a morbid thing, the importance of that day is to recognize that it's highlights that 7 out of the top 10 causes of death in this nation are from chronic illnesses, y'all. We got to address the need for getting these preventable diseases in order. Preventable diseases account for 90% of the U.S. nation, of this nation's $4.1 trillion annual health care costs.
mm,
Let me say that again. Preventable diseases account for 90% of the nation's $4.1 trillion annual health care costs. This was
mm,
just
mm.
published this past Wednesday on July 10th. I said yesterday, but I meant Wednesday, July 10th, which is National Chronic Disease Day. 90%
4.1
preventable.
billion.
Preventable. So if that's the case, I just thought we would look at, some of the things about chronic, more than, it just seems like more than half of us should be able to get that under control. But do you know that the number one barrier to people getting these diseases under control
No.
is poverty and lack of access to good health care? That's the number one reason.
Now, how do you know if you got good health? Like you may have been going to the family doctor. Like we used to have a family doctor. I think his name was Dr. Ted. Don't quote me on his name. I think it was Dr. Ted. Let's have a family doctor. And everybody went to the family doctor. He knew the whole family, you know. But still, at the end of the day, my aunt and my grandmother had a muscle disease that they passed away from. You
Mm-hmm.
know, it was some other family members that said that they didn't like Dr. Ted. So how is it that you know that you're going to I would say a good healthcare system?
Well, you got doctors, and then you have a healthcare system, because your healthcare system speaks more about the whole system, not only who controls the whole unit, but also the insurance companies. All that's part of the system.
Mm.
But then if your doctor is great, like Dr. Tabby, he could have been great to some of you. But then if your
Right.
health insurance is foul and doesn't pay for hardly anything, you probably won't be able to afford to see Dr. Tabby like you would if you had good health insurance. So that's what I mean about good access to health care. I mean, having good access to health insurance, because medical treatment comes with a cost. And there was a time I had no health insurance, and I literally thought I was going to die because I could not afford to pay for everything that I needed to get done to stay healthy.
Right.
And it was a very tenuous, it was a hard time for me at that point, you know? And while certain places have these free clinics, if you if you
I
experienced a
like your
free
air quotes.
yeah, but I mean, if you've experienced a free clinic, as they used to call them free clinics back in my day. They don't call them that now,
No,
because
They still known as free clinics in Philadelphia.
Oh, they are.
They just
I
it's
don't
the
hear
free
anybody
clinic
call it free.
health clinic
I
is the
call them.
free clinic
I hear them
healthcare
call it. I
centers,
hear them call it
and they got
the
numbers.
clinic. I hear them call it the clinic, but I don't ever hear them call it a free clinic.
Still free clinic. They go by numbers now. It's like healthcare center number 5, healthcare, whatever one is in your district. That's the one you gotta go to.
Mm,
And if you can try
okay.
to get there as early as possible, that Waka Flocka is always packed. I don't care when you get there. It's always packed.
Well, yeah, because it's a lot of people that can't afford to go anywhere else. And see, depending on who you get, you might not get a great doctor there. You might not. I don't know. I've never been to one. I haven't been to one, so I don't know. But you might or you might not. But you hear horror stories. I hear horror stories about it.
Yeah, you're gonna hear horror. I hear horror stories about. It's crazy. My ex worked at the VA, and if you talk to people who gave great service to this country, if you talk to any of them, they don't want to go to the VA.
Nope, they don't.
They'll tell you in a minute. Don't take me to the VA. I only go there to pick my medicine up. That's what they tell you. I only go there to pick my medicine up. That's it.
Mm-mm.
That's all.
Well, my father served 4 years in the Air Force. May he rest in peace. And after he well, he was honorably discharged, of course, and went on to go to college, get his degree, and get a professional job and everything. My father never went to the VA, not even for a prescription. In fact,
Oh,
I didn't even know that he could if he wanted to until he was like 70 something years old because he always went to a private physician, a darn good one
always.
too. But he never went to the VA. Never.
They don't
Not
like
one
it.
time.
I got some homies that are older homies that I grew up with that was in the Vietnam War, and they used to tell me that they wanted to get their disability points up. They'll start off at like 60%, something like that. So they'll
Mm-hmm.
go. They would tell me they would go to the VA, and they'll sit there and say they ain't feeling well, that they having bad dreams. The VA will send them off to another facility. They'll sit in there for a couple of weeks, get their disability points up. They come back 6 months later to do the same thing. They get their disability points up from 60% all the way up to 85. And I was like, why you only go to 85? They said, you go past 85, you got to be missing something. A leg, arm, something. You got to be missing something. But I get all the way up to 85%. So I'm getting top dollar from Uncle Sam. That's what they used to always, how they used to tell it. Get top dollar from Uncle Sam. As long as I could get my check every month, I'm all right. Top dollar from Uncle Sam. And I was like, so what? So when you get sick, you still go to the VA? No, no. That's how they no. Only went
That's
there
what
to
they
get the
always
only went
say.
there to get my percentage up. No, no. And I picked my medicine up there. That's it. No. I got a doctor I see. My I'm like, man, y'all is serious about not going to the VA. Yeah, I ain't going in there. No.
Well, and it's that's really a problem, and it's really something that the nation should be ashamed of. Because I mean, these are soldiers. These are people who went out and fought, so we didn't have to. Well, we were at home enjoying the freedom that they afford us, at the risk of their lives and
Exactly.
everything.
Let's
And
get
then they
it on.
get out and they can't even get good, decent health care. That's crazy. That's madness to me. And yet
They well,
there's one side of the aisle in Congress that claims to be so patriotic, but they are always voting against tax breaks and health care benefits for veterans. They're always voting against it. Always voting against it. But on the campaign trail, they're so patriotic. They got the little flag pin
yeah.
on. Don't you kneel during the national anthem.
Oh,
Mm-mm-mm.
oh my good Sharon. That's That should not have been that big. That
I
should
know
not have
it.
been that big,
No,
Karen.
it shouldn't have. But these are the same people, when it comes down to the vote, that will vote no against giving veterans free health care or extending more benefits to the veterans for their health care and stuff like that, improving whatever. They vote against it. And it drives me crazy. I don't understand it. Don't talk to me about the flag when you don't even respect veterans. Don't come talk to me.
No,
You know?
they don't.
No, they don't. But
They
they just use it
and
as some way to try to vilify the other side. That's all they do.
I got a lot of veterans in my family. I appreciate all of them too.
Yeah, I do
I think
too.
my great grandfather's the only one that was in war. He was in World War II. He's the only one I know that off the top of my head that was in war. I did a story on my great grandfather actually being in World War II. I did that story. I think I was in like sixth, seventh grade. Did a whole story on him. And he broke down. He told me everything I need to know. And there was a
Yeah,
lot that I was actually I didn't even know that he went through so much in that war. I had no idea.
girl. I'll tell you, they go through a lot, but it's madness. But anyway, yep, that's heat stroke. But with that about heat stroke and disease and chronic disease, these chronic diseases, they can be prevented. And they're talking about things like diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, things like
That
that.
all those usually run together. All three of them usually run together. They
Well,
like kissing cousins. They all usually run together.
sometimes, yeah, but they're preventable.
Yeah.
Emphysema, even preventable. Sometimes you
Just
can
got
get it
them
just
personal
from
needs.
environmental factors, but sometimes you can forget it. You can prevent it. You don't have to add to the possibility by smoking cigarettes for 25 years. You know what I mean?
Cigarette smokers kill me. Old school cigarette smokers, I understood and I respected them. You know what I mean? I got it. But these new age cigarette smokers, they kill me. They come up. I see them come up on some money, and I look at them. I'll be like, yo, you always begging for cigarettes. Why don't you just buy a cart? Now I buy a cart. Now I'm trying to stop. You ain't trying to stop. You still begging for cigarettes. Yeah, make sense. Like you can't afford some money, buy a cart. That way you won't have to beg for no cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
It's that
I mean,
simple.
you're right. You're right.
And then sit there and tell you, no, I'm trying to stop. Man, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you nothing like that. If I'm smoking, and I'm smoking. You already made the commitment that you don't care if you get that lung cancer. You enjoy smoking.
Yeah,
You already made the commitment.
yeah. I
A lot of
mean, there
people
are
gonna get
people.
mad at me because I'm saying it like that, but you made the commitment when you started smoking. When you started buying pack after pack. When you look
Listen,
around and you ain't even worried about what you eat, you need a pack of cigarettes first.
look, you can see a person on the street somewhere dragging around a thing of oxygen, and they sitting there smoking a cigarette.
Yeah.
But you got a thing on your nose, and you got to carry this oxygen tank with you. But you smoking a cigarette? First of all, it's
I
dangerous.
seen people.
But
I seen people. Remember? Do you remember when people used to be like, "Oh, well, you should get the nicotine patch. That way it stop you from smoking." I seen people with the nicotine patch smoke 3 cigarettes a day. That's how much
right,
you need.
and that's dangerous too. That can be fatal that they keep doing it. You're not supposed to keep smoking while you're on that patch.
You know what they did? They got rid of that patch, kept smoking. You know what they did?
Well, chronic illnesses. Let me tell you how serious these preventable illnesses are. Chronic illnesses pose the greatest threat to Americans aged 35 to 64. surpassing deaths from opioids and gun violence combined.
Mm, that opioid
Chronic
epidemic is crazy too.
illnesses is the greatest threat to Americans aged 35 to 64, more than opioid deaths and gun violence death combined. Just think about that.
I can understand that. No, I can understand that because that them opioid deaths usually happen to a lot of people in their 20s. Gun violence, you usually in the same spot where you bought the drugs at, so I can see that. Like once you get over 35, you ain't going to the trap house no more to go get your drugs. You get them delivered. You're a little too old for that. So I can understand that. I can understand.
Well, I don't know about all that. Only thing I can say, that's a whole lot of folk. That's what I'm gonna say. That's a whole lot of people.
That is.
So what can we do about it? We can start taking back our health, folks. There's things that we can do to be healthier that don't even require a lot of money. Everything does not require money. Because I used to be one of those people who thought it did. Now, I will tell you the biggest problem is that it costs more money to eat healthy than it does to eat junk. That's the problem
Yeah.
I have with the United States, because it makes you think that somewhere somebody in the US is doing this on purpose to support the food industry and drug industry or something. Because why does it cost more money to eat healthy? Yet they want everybody to be healthy. And they want to penalize you if you're not. Oh, more money perhaps? Because they can penalize you? Because you know your health insurance costs more if you're not a healthy person.
Mm, did not know that.
Yeah, if you're a smoker, it costs more, and if you certain number of pounds overweight, according to the BMI chart, um, then yes, your health insurance costs more. So does your life insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an opportunity for them to make more money.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That life insurance situation is tricky. There's some life insurance policies you ain't even gotta uh, do too much for. You can sign right up and start paying. Other life insurance policies, they want to send a nurse out, come take some blood, you know, do all types of other stuff. A little tricky. That's all I'm saying. It's a little tricky.
yeah.
Life
Well,
insurance.
usually if you get health insurance from your employer, then there's no exam because it's a group policy. But what happens is if you're trying to get your own life insurance that you're paying the premium, they're going to send somebody out. Unless you are just pretty healthy, you don't have any diagnosed problems, you're within the weight level, you don't smoke, you don't do drugs, more than likely they won't even send anybody out.
Mm.
I didn't have to go out that often when I used to sell life insurance. I didn't have to go out all, all the time. I had to go out to get them to fill out the paperwork, but not for an exam.
I understand.
But nowadays, it's really serious about this exam stuff.
Yeah, they are.
So, what can we do? You can make little changes in your diet, you can make changes in your recreational activities to be healthier.
The two changes that I've made, I start walking more and I stop eating after 8 p.m. Somebody said I'm supposed to stop eating after 7 p.m. But I told them I just got to 8. I've been on 8 for 3 months now. I want to say May. Since May, I've been at 8. So I ease down to 7.
Well, I can't say that I don't eat after 8 because I do a lot here lately because of my schedule. But I do drink a lot of water. Excuse me. And I'm trying to walk more.
Drink a lot of water. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Shit, drink a lot of water.
Is that just today?
Just today.
I've drunk two. I've only drunk two of these today. I usually by now I've been through four of these, but I've only drunk two of these today. This bottle holds 30 ounces though, so I'm usually
Yeah,
drinking
I'm looking at these.
120 ounces of water a day, which is cool.
These are 16 ounces.
Hmm.
I've been through 6.
So yeah, so for me, it's just a matter of eating. Excuse me, balanced meals and just trying to not to eat too much junk. You can't eat a whole pie. I saw somebody eat a whole pie. I'm like, how you eat a whole pie in one sitting?
Because you just sit there and keep eating. I know how it's done because I've done it before.
But they
But
just
you
had
have to.
dinner. You just had a whole full
Yeah.
dinner and then you ate a whole pie.
You see when we went to where we were, Red Robin? You see when we went to Red Robin and I ordered a pizza and then I realized I couldn't eat it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a whole pizza, ladies and gentlemen. It was the pizza appetizer thing. But I ordered that for if you've been to Red Robin, you know. If not, Google it. But I ordered that and I was like, nah, I don't want them. I don't want it. I just had the burger and the fries.
That burger was slamming, boy.
Yeah.
That made me want to go back and get another one soon.
With that smoked ketchup. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Put some smoke. I put some smoked paprika in some ketchup the other day because of that. Put it on my pork. I did. I put it on
I I didn't
my
even know
pork
they
chop.
had smoked paprika. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, yeah. Get
I
smoked
got to.
paprika.
I don't put paprika in a lot of stuff. You know, I barely. I don't eat devil eggs. I'm really not a fan of that. Um, and
Devil eggs not the only thing
Maureen.
you put paprika on, man.
I'm thinking about stuff that go with paprika at the top of my head. And Maureen make the
Not the
potato
only
salad,
thing.
so whatever she put in, I eat. So I'm
Any
trying to think of all the
any
stuff that go with paprika.
any meat that I cook has paprika in it. Most vegetables
Okay,
I cook, I put paprika in it. Most, not all.
okay,
Especially
I
if it's a
don't.
green vegetable. Yeah. And that smoked paprika has a different flavor. So I took some smoked paprika and some ketchup and mixed it up a little bit and put it on this pork chop I was eating. It was delicious. You hear me? It does make a difference. The smoked paprika.
Not to
I don't
say
know
that
what they
I
put
need
in
to.
theirs, but that's what I put in mine.
I just said I need to go get me something to eat. It's early. I need to go get me something to eat.
Hmm.
I probably eat some watermelon. That's been my thing lately. Watermelon.
I have not eaten watermelon very much in the last about 10 years. I don't know why. I'll eat it if it's
They got
there.
this. They got this new thing on the internet now where they squeeze a lemon on top of the watermelon and says that it tastes good. I've had it. Tastes good to me, but it's not as over exaggerated as they make it. Tastes good, but ain't as over exaggerated as they make it. That's all I'm saying. Does taste good.
I can't see me trying that. Mm. I don't even buy watermelon every summer like I used to. I used to buy one every summer, at least one. And I remember
Shit,
one
I'd have been
summer I
through.
used to buy one all the
We in
time.
July.
I ate nothing but watermelon, hardly.
We in July. I'd have been through about 6 watermelon already.
Mm-mm. I haven't
And I
had
got
any
one
watermelon.
downstairs. So
I haven't had
I
any
got one
watermelon
downstairs. It's
this
about to be
summer.
7.
I have not had any this summer.
Yeah. And my
Not one.
grandma used to tell me that watermelons was better in August.
Really.
That's what she used to tell me. Yeah, she said August is the best time to be getting watermelon. That's what she used to tell me. She been telling me this since the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
That they sell watermelon. But that was let me get this out the way. That was back when the watermelon and Fishman used to drive by your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And scream out, "Fishman, Fishman! I got trout. I got flounder. Fishman, Fishman! I got watermelon." That's how he sound going past your neighborhood. 3 people came past your neighborhood. It was the Fishman. It was the ice cream man, and then it was the water ice man. That was Philadelphia water ice man. Fish man and and the ice cream man came by your neighborhood.
Not the water ice.
Yeah,
The
the water
water
ice man.
ice.
Right.
Well,
He had
only
water ice
thing
and
we
he had
the
water ice
only
and
thing
cream
we
spot.
only thing we had was the ice cream man. I didn't grow up with none of the rest of that. We used to go to the
You ain't had no
market.
fish. You ain't had no fish man come by your neighborhood either.
No, we had to go to the market. We went to Estridge, went to the market. That little Estridge
Uh,
market is still there now.
what?
No,
Only meat market that has been there since I've been a kid and is still there is Dave's Meat Market on 22nd Street. Anybody from Philadelphia, in North Philly, right over there where Jill Scott shot that video at. Let's take a long walk at
walk,
the
yeah.
dark. Yeah, yeah. At that same spot, you go down the street 1 block. It's Dave's Meat Market. Okay,
Well,
just want to
well,
let y'all know Dave's Meat Market is still there.
the only market I know is still there is Estridge Market on Hoover in Gettysburg in Dayton, Ohio. So if you're in the Gem City, go to Estridge Market. You get the best meat in town still. The building ain't nothing
When
to
you go
look
back to
at.
Ohio,
Same
when
building
you go back to Ohio, make sure you take a little video of that.
of Estridge.
So we put on the side, John. Yeah, we're gonna take a little video because you know what I was sitting there, I was having a conversation with some of my younger homies, and I was telling them about Murray's. Was there a Murray's when you grew up?
No.
No, one of the Murray's meat market. Maybe it's just the
No.
Philadelphia thing.
Yeah.
There's a Murray's. Murray's
Nope.
Murray's was a supermarket. I'm sorry, not a meat market, supermarket.
No.
Yeah, and they sold and a lot of their stuff they sold could be cooked in a microwave. You ain't
No.
had to be no expert cook to be shopping at Murray's.
No.
But their barbecue sauce was bomb.
Well, Kroger was our grocery store growing up. I miss
Their
Kroger.
Kroger's still around. Or
We don't have them here now. But growing up, it was
people down
Kroger.
south call it people down south call it K Rogers.
Yeah, well, whatever. It's Kroger, and I'm just saying, used to love to go to Kroger, but can't go to Kroger no more. They close all them Krogers down here. But they used to have
Hey.
good meat on Mondays. Used to go to their go get meat special on Mondays. Loved it. No more.
So,
But yeah, so take control of your health, man. It's coming in the second. We're in the second half, the last half of the year. You want to finish as strong as you started, if not stronger. So if you got some
yes.
health goals, put your health goals in the comments. Tell us what your health goals are. Mine is I'm not going to tell y'all how many pounds I have lost. It's a lot. But my goal by this time next year is to lose another 2-digit number of pounds. And we'll see if I make that. But my goal is to lose 2 more dress sizes. I'll put it that way by next year.
Uh, my goal is to lose 3 digit by next year. 3 digit pounds.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go down 2 dress sizes and get my shoe game back up. I couldn't even wear my shoes. My feet had gotten so swollen. and everything.
Swollen. Oh my
Couldn't,
gosh, Sharon.
I couldn't.
Yo,
Well,
yo.
part of it, it wasn't necessarily due to the weight. It was because of my health condition too, and my feet would just swell up. My feet and my hands and my chest, all three areas would just, it would just swell up, and you could actually visibly see I'm swollen. My face would be swollen. Everything would just be swollen, and I couldn't wear my shoes. And then a few times I tried to wear a few of them and ruined them, so they're really big. So now that I'm losing weight, I don't have shoes. All my shoes fall off my feet. So gotta up my shoe game now. But that's a good reason to have to up your shoe game because you can't
I'm a
wear your
little
shoes
nervous
big.
because now I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm a little nervous because now I'm walking. I mean, I got a couple shoes here. I mean, the couple shoes I got can last me until next year because I barely wear them. But with my shoes and everything, I want to buy some new shoes because I keep seeing new shoes that I like. But then I'd be like, if I buy that size, then lose weight, then I ain't gonna be able to wear them sneakers.
And you just sell them. Sell them on Mercari. That's what people I know do. I don't do it. I'm just saying that's what people do. I don't sell things on sell apps, but people do, and they're
They
successful with
do.
it. But like these shoes right here, this is a pair of shoes that I was able to purchase recently. Why? Because I didn't have any shoes, and I'm getting invited to nice events. I can't wear my sneakers, and that's all the shoes I have. You see me every day. I'm wearing sneakers. Her sister look at me like, "Dang, Sharon, can you wear something else? You just wear them sneakers." I even had to go to a birthday party with these sneakers on. So finally, I just went on ahead and got me a pair, shoes that can kind of grow with you because the straps are elastic, so they
Right.
can stay on my feet better. But it's a good problem to have. But take back your health, you guys. That's my final words. Just take back your health. If you, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. That's what they always say. And you don't have to stay the way you are, whether it's a habit or unhealthiness, illness, whatever it is. As long as it's not, something that's terminal, you can fight it and do it because we want you here. We want you here. We don't want you to go away soon. But to learn that 90% of these illnesses that we have in this age group, 35 to 60, can be prevented. That is wow.
And you know what it is? You just gotta, as you say, take it back, but don't overdo yourself. If you know you ain't gonna get up and do the same thing every day, then do little by little. I'm not telling you to go join the gym because I'm not telling you to add another bill to your household. That's the reason why I'm saying. And I know Planet Fitness is $10. I know. And some of y'all are paying a Planet Fitness bill and don't even know what the inside of Planet Fitness looks like. I know. This is why I'm telling you this. That $10 can go to something else. Okay? All I'm trying to say is take a walk around your neighborhood. First of all, it's a two for one. You get to know your neighborhood and your neighbors. And at the same time, you exercise. All right? Wait for the sun to go down. It's been hot. It's been it's been hot. It's been hot. I'm just gonna say, wait for the
Yeah.
sun to go down. Take your walk, or get up early before the sun come on. Take your walk. However you do your thing. Take your walk. Get to know your neighborhood. Get to see your neighbors. Because the summertime is when your neighbors get crazy. This is their crazy moment. So if you ever thought you wanted to know what kind of neighbors you had, you will find out in the summer. You won't find out in the winter because everybody in the house. But you'll find out in the summer who your neighbors is.
Yeah.
And take a walk, enjoy yourself, you know, and don't overdo yourself. If you only
Nope.
can walk around the block and then you need to sit down, then sit down.
Hmm.
Because ain't
Everything in
nobody gonna be able to pick
moderation.
you up.
Just do
Yeah.
everything in
Ain't
moderation. It's
ain't
just like
nobody gonna call
eating.
911 and ain't nobody
It's
gonna pick
like
you up.
it's like eating potato chips and Doritos. You can't eat potato chips and Doritos every day. You,
No.
you can't eat them for 3, 4 times a day and then eat them every day or even 4 times a week. You just can't do that. And eating chips and crackers and brownies and ice cream and candy, you just in a week, you just gotta look at every week like a roadmap. I got 7 days. On this day and this day, these are the 2 days I'm gonna have this right here. And I'm not gonna have it any other day. And I promise you, you don't feel restricted. Because I still eat ice cream. I don't eat it every week, and I don't even eat it every month. But when I really feel like eating some ice cream, I will eat some ice cream, but I'm not going to eat any tomorrow. You see what I mean?
Right.
You can't, you just got to do everything in moderation.
I
Yeah.
agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
And drink
Take your
water and
time.
rest. Oh, rest. I forgot to say that. One of the biggest diet killers is not getting enough rest. Get in a routine of going to sleep around the same time every night if you can do it, and make sure you get enough rest. Um, Not resting enough can actually cause you to eat more when you're awake. That's what they say. And I believe that's true. And it's easier for you to resist cravings if you're a rested person. Sometimes we're not even hungry. We're thirsty or we're tired and in need of rest, but we'll eat. Hmm.
I remember I was eating to stay awake. I remember that. Just eating just to stay awake. Nah,
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. I'm going to bed.
Yep. But
But
do
thank
that,
y'all for
folks.
showing up today. We appreciate each and everybody that came through. See the
Pour.
side, y'all. Make sure y'all have a great day. And we want to tell y'all, God bless.